Good day, everyone. We're back at the Ink Cobra's outpost, um, and we're where we left off in the last episode. And here's our wealth, if you're interested. Um, it's increased since the last time I showed that, and our population has also increased from 7 to 10 because we got some new migrants. Now, that means we need more rooms and beds and stuff. But the thing is, they don't all sleep at the same time, so I think this is sufficient for the time being. And thinking on that, I also noticed that the food and the drinks are going down. So we need to build a still and the kitchen and get some proper farming going, because we're running low on the stuff that we started off with, especially drinks, because we're in a desert and we don't have any adequate we don't have any water source. We do have the aquifer though. Here. But well, we know that there's water in and around here. So we could just channel down somewhere and we'll hit the aquifer, and that'll create a water source. So I don't know where, I mean, just one, or should it be 4? I don't know. I'll do 4, I guess. There's a stray chick. See, we're still getting plenty of plants here. We're out of wood, so I should chop this big tree down. I think this tree is as big as it's going to get. And see, here's the roots of the tree. It goes below it goes up all the way up to up the elevation 15. Just like these. So these, I think, they're fully grown, and I don't think they're going to get any bigger. So there's no sense in there's no seeds or fruit in this kind of tree. So it's nothing but wood. Now, certain kinds of trees that don't grow on this map, like say apple or cherry trees or whatever, you can collect fruit from. And that's what the step ladder is for. But I just think on this desert map, we only have this high wood and the saguaro trees, and that's it. So that's that. But I do need the wood, because I ran out. I don't know if I'll ever build anything here, but may as well clear out these boulders. Brickleberries. Alright, have I butchered anything? No, not yet. Now, the wagon, may as well disassemble it and get those 3 logs. The wagon, as I understand it, the wagon also counts as a meeting area. I think even if you disassemble it, they might still... The dwarves use this until you set up a different one. They use this area to gather and meet. But we have set up a meeting area, so we don't need that. Now, I've been thinking about the defenses here and what to do about to prevent sieges and or to guard against sieges. I probably should wall this off at some... I need a lot more stone than what we got right now, though. That's the thing. Yeah, we don't have a lot of stone. But let's focus on the food right now. Now, I cleared... In the last episode, I mined all this out and to grow farms and stuff. And the way you do that is you go to the workshops, farming, and create a farm plot. Now, let's see how many tiles is that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, I looked on the wiki, the Dwarf Fortress wiki, and the fertilizing thing, depending on the size of the farm, it uses a certain amount of potash, and there's an optimal way to do it. And 7 by 1 uses 2 units of potash. And that's the most optimal use of 2 units. So I think creating plots that size would be a very optimal use of potash if we had it. Because anything less than 7, let's say it was 1 by 6 plots, it would still use 2. And if it was 1 by 5, I think it still uses 2. And if it's like less than that, uses like 1 unit. But this is the most efficient way to use 2 units. And you can create bigger plots that use 3, but the wiki says what the most optimal sizes are. So I'm just going to go with what they say. And that's probably going to be good enough to start with, I guess. I left an empty space over here where I can put a stockpile and stockpile for seeds to plant, but the only thing that can grow underground is underground seeds. None. Cave wheat is one of the subterranean plants we can grow here. this interface could be better if it separated, if it made a distinction between above ground and below ground, but it doesn't. And I know dimple cups are another subterranean. Boy, there's a lot of stuff that you can grow in this game. But only a small percentage of it is subterranean. And, you know, most of these I'm never going to see on this map anyway, unless I buy it from caravans. But it probably won't even grow in this desert biome. Only certain things will grow. Pigtails is another one. Plump helmets is another one. Now, prickleberries I know grow in the desert, and potatoes as well. Potatoes, I think, will grow in any biome, except, of course, glaciers and I think mountains. Rock nuts, I think, is another subterranean. Rope reed, I think, is not, but I'm not certain on that. Anyway, like I said, this interface could be better by distinguishing between above ground and subterranean, but it doesn't, so I guess that's it. I don't know. Now they'll come and start constructing these. Now I want to get this set up as soon as possible before anybody dies or anything. And they'll put barrels which can hold bags of seeds. I don't know exactly how many bags will fit into a barrel, but I think these 3 tiles should be enough for all this. I hope. Now let's start at the top. We can leave it fallow, of course, but we'll start with. Well, let's start with at the spring. Plump helmets. Cave wheat, okay. And cave wheat and plump helmets. And we can fertilize that every season, but we don't have any potash, so it ain't gonna do anything. The soil is poor soil. Cavern soil is the best, but that requires digging down, and there's a lot of monsters down there. So before you breach the caverns, you want to have a good military setup, or you want to wall off an area for farming use or whatever, so that the monsters won't get to it. And the problem in my last game is I didn't do either thing, so that giant spider came in and started killing everybody, so that sucked. Now the dimple cups are the dye. That's probably, I mean, I don't think I need that much of it, but I don't know. The pigtails, you make thread and cloth out of. And you can also make paper, as I understand. I don't think there's any sense in leaving it fallow. I know that in real life, doing that can help improve the fertility of the soil, but I don't think that applies here. Sweet pods. Plump helmets are a good go-to crop because they can grow in every season and they're just good all around for food, and you can make plump helmet wine out of them. So you could grow nothing but plump helmets, and the dwarves' basic food and alcohol needs could be met off that alone, but they want to have a variety if possible, and wheat can make beer. But you know, we also have the barley growing on the surface, and that's also can be used like that. Go with sweet pods, I guess. And that makes syrup, dwarven syrup, and that's a very valuable trade good. Quarry bushes, I think they're pretty hard to grow, especially if you don't have fertilizer, but I'm gonna set that anyway. See, winter, I see in the subterranean, you'd think the climate would be pretty much similar all year round, so the seasons you'd think shouldn't matter too much underground, but apparently they do. But in the winter, this is all you can do. And we don't need, I mean, I set one row for dimple cups, and I don't think we need even that much. But so plump helmets or leaving it fallow is the only logical choice here, I think. But I don't think leaving it fallow does anything. But I'm not sure. Anyway, that should I'll start growing it. Starting to see, one's been planted. Other ones came and is putting one in. Yeah, see, there's shows it's been planted. And these take a certain amount of time to develop. This is probably sufficient. I mean, maybe even too much for only 10 dwarves. But it'll last us. We'll be getting more migrants, and eventually the dwarves will have babies. So the population is going to grow. But this should be good for a good long time. Whoa, what's that? Oh, that channel was dug. Okay, and now if we've breached the aquifer, I'll mine these out. I want this to fill up with water. But you see it's a slow process to fill up, so that's going to take a while. Better to get it started now, right? The water, though, it's going to be muddy because, well, this isn't good water. It's muddy. Well, it's better than nothing anyway. Eventually, I'll set up something better. I'll set up a cistern. Hopefully a mud-free cistern, but this will do for the time being, I guess. And I can't smooth that, but I don't think I need to either. Okay, we're in autumn now. That might have been a mistake to plant those summer crops, because I think that just killed those summer crops. I mean, the seeds, that means they were wasted. Oh well. Caravan should be coming soon. See, they're already... Oh, we're out of drinks. And they're having thoughts of water. Because they don't have anything to drink. So I set this up at the right time. I should have done it sooner. But let's set up a still. Let's set it up. Yeah, there's fine, I guess. And we'll use this wood block we have just to get rid of it. And we'll set up a stockpile, not for alcohol, but for the ingredients that are used to make alcohol, which would be plants. Well, it's certain types of plants. You can't make alcohol out of cabbage, for example, but you I think the fruit and leaves is what we want, I think. Yeah, so we'll do that. There's one other thing that can be used to make alcohol besides the plant stuff, and that is honey. Bumblebee honey or honeybee honey. Well, we don't have either of those at the moment, so we'll just forget about that. Let's start brewing drinks on repeat. Extracts from plants. I don't think we have any, but... See, we already got 3 plump helmets, and it's going to take this shirt pot that we made, and it's going to... Somebody's going to come... Somebody's already there, and they filled that pot with dwarven wine. This is a well-crafted dwarven wine pot. Okay, we got 12 dwarven wine. So that gives us some drinks. See, it says a dusting of mud. And I think just a dusting is fine. I don't think that a dusting is going to be a problem. Let's look at the numbers. Still just ones and a few twos. Oh, I look like somebody took a drink or something. That's why it disappeared briefly. Well, like I said, it's a slow process. It'll start off with ones, then twos, all the way up to 7. So that will serve as a source of water. It's not ideal, but they're not gonna die from dehydration now. And if they do fall in there, there's a slope where they can get out. But there should be a well over that, I think. The caravan has arrived. Although it is a grim reminder of the winter hardships to come, the supply caravan from the youthful whip is a welcome sight. Their eyes are alight with the anticipation of inspecting the splendid products of your industrious crafts dwarves. Yeah, I don't think I've made a whole lot, though that's unfortunately. Take careful stock of your own stores. What these merchants offer might very well be the difference between a prosperous future and a slow and meaningless death. Now, it's centered on our fort. Which is this, right? Right. Yeah, that's ours. This is ours. Our site government is the Tempted Hammer, and our civilization is the youthful whip. The Baron Consort Zifan Manoborosh of Crystal Crafts from Rilim Bomrik has arrived. And that is him. He has 2 lovers and 6 children. He's 51. He's the outpost liaison. So he's going to meet with us and tell us what's what. He doesn't seem like he would be the best for the job, but oh well. He's going to meet with us. Our expedition leader, I guess. A bunch of dead hamsters are ending up in this corpse or refuse pile. This cat keeps killing them, I guess. Alright. I am your liaison from the mountain homes. Let's discuss your situation. Okay. Information has been added to the world info. Now, we can make requests for the next year. But that won't it won't come until next year though. And anything you request, you have to pay a premium for. They'll charge you more for it. Um, well, we don't have any clay, so if I want clay, I gotta import that unless I can find a source somewhere. Sand we have. We should be all right on food and stuff. Um, this stuff you can make from wood, but if you can import it already made, then this saves the hassle. And we don't have a lot of wood, so importing it will be good. That being said, we should probably also import wood. But what kind? I don't know. I'll just leave that alone. Seeds. I don't know. I think that's good, probably. And see, you got to pay 195% of the price. So, or 205% or whatever. So basically, it doubles the price of this stuff, but that's the way it goes. And in return, they'll tell us what they want to request from us. This year, they want thread. And if we are able to provide it, then they will offer nearly twice the rate. But that only applies next year and not with anything this year. So over the course of the next year, I can make a lot of thread and sell it for almost twice the price. These camels are still here. I wonder what happened to that wounded one. Well, I just hope those dogs will leave him alone. Oh, here's a hamster. Alright, well anyway, that guy was the liaison. He's not the caravan. I should check if those migrants brought any pets or livestock with them. No, doesn't look like there's anything new here. Because if they brought some kind of animal that needs to graze, I need to put it in the pasture, but there's nothing. Alright, anyway, yeah, we got alcohol coming now, so that's good. And this stuff, what do we got here? We got the rock nuts. That's what grows into the quarry bushes. Nothing's planted because we don't have enough seeds to plant anything further. Okay, let's make more bins and barrels to put that alcohol in. Some buckets. And wheelbarrows. We're out of chert. I need to set up some just digging, mining. There. And this floor I can use to put rooms and stuff, but first we'll mine out the corridors. Now I was going to make rooms or something here, but I never did. Now the merchants have arrived. The liaison always arrives before the merchants. And they have an elephant. Probably used to haul their goods. Alright. Let's bring our broker and remove the goods to the trade depot, but we don't have a lot of goods to trade at the moment. I certainly don't have a lot of food and drink at the moment, so I don't want to give that. This, we have 1,000 dwarf bucks worth of finished goods, but this is mostly stuff we brought with us on the embark. just don't have a lot of stuff. Just not a lot of stuff ever was made. This is about all we got. Could do the gems, I guess, but it's better to cut them first. But the thing is that the trade caravan will stay there for a while. So we got some time where we could make some more stuff in the meantime. So let's start making some rock crafts. Some shirt blocks. Shirt coffers. Shirt doors. Let's make some shirt statues, but I'm gonna let them do whatever they want. And if it's not worth keeping or setting up, I'll just sell those statues. Make some shirt hatches. Shirt cabinets. Shirt thrones. And shirt tables. And that's probably good enough, I guess. I don't know. But these crafts is what I'm concerned about for the time being. Should set up more of these craft shops so that we can have more workers doing stuff. And this, see, it's still slowly filling up. Oh, small pile of mud. That's not good. Anything more than a dusting means that the water's getting muddy, and we don't want that. So this isn't ideal water, but it's not. They won't die, at least. I'm not going to set that as a water source because they will, if they have no other option, they will use what they can get. So I don't need to set this as a water source. But when I eventually get something better than this, then I'll set the better source as the water source. Our fortress ran out of food. I made so many drinks, focused on that I forgot about the food situation. There's a lot to gather, so I... Now, what about there's no seeds for bladeweed. Let's set strawberries. If we have the seeds for it, then we should grow what we have seeds for. Strawberries sound good. We can make strawberry wine, or they can eat it raw or whatever. There's no more rock nuts. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to set up one more just for plump helmets, because we have seeds for that, but we don't have for anything else. Do year-round plump helmets. Even more migrants arrived. Great. And now we have this calf, which if either the migrants brought that or it was born to these, I think it was born to these. She's already in the pasture. Yeah, I think since she's already assigned to the pasture, I think that means she was born in the pasture. Yeah, this announcement says that it was that our water buffalo gave birth to it. So yeah, that's how that happened. See, I don't always check these announcements, so we created some more masterpiece stuff. We ran out of wood again, I guess. Unless that's an old announcement. Oh crap, the merchant's already left. I spent too much time, and well, that sucks. Well, it shows them still there, though. Damn it, man. I missed the trade. It's alright. We didn't even have a lot of stuff anyway, so whatever. What was that? Giant skink. A large monster in the shape of a skink. She is extremely agile, but she is susceptible to disease and very weak. She is weak and very small, even though she's a giant. Yeah, stuff's gonna keep. A lot of weird stuff's gonna keep coming in. These are the merchants. These are animals that they brought in cages that we could have traded for. There's the giant skink on the map and these camels. I still need to set up the offices and all that, which I will do probably on this floor. But we got a lot of mining to do still. At least we're not gonna. At least we got plenty of stone now, and a lot of it. It all seems to be chert, so everything's gonna be made out of chert, like we said. So that's good. And on this floor we have ores, tetrahedrite, bauxite, which is, in real life, that's an ore of aluminum. But in the game, I don't think you can do anything with it. Limonite it's an ore of iron. There's more than one type of iron ore. Okay, this floor has got ores and coal. So this would be an excellent floor to try to set up a metal working industry of some kind. Now, to smelt the ore, you need a smelter, obviously. Still waiting for somebody to come and build that. We used up all that wood. Let's chop these down. And now that I'm thinking about it, let's set up a bee hive. Let's put it on this floor tile to cover that up. Because nothing's going to grow on that tile, so might as well use that tile to replace. So I don't think we have to do anything. I think one of the dwarves will go and grab a colony, yeah, and they did, and shove it in there into the hive. So a hive of honeybees has been installed. So I don't think we have to do anything. I think it will automatically it takes a jug to put the honey in. Whenever it's time, a dwarf will automatically do that. Oh, see, the strawberries are... We got strawberries growing. Nice. Now, I could put more surface farms and stuff, but this is probably alright for now. I don't know how long this takes to do that. Probably a few days or something. Okay, this has finally been built. Let's set up a stockpile. And put... metal ores. And also coal and lignite. And also the flux stones, which are used to turn iron into steel. I'm not sure what these two do. I know that the gypsum is for plaster, gypsum and alabaster are for plaster, and this is for ceramics. And I'm not sure about those two. If those are flux stones or what, I'm just not sure. So I'm just gonna ignore that for now. Animal has grown into a stray rooster. Alright. Alright, this has been mined out. insert door here and here. Going to mine those out. And reconstruct that wall. And also this wall. All right. We can't do anything at the moment because even though we have ores and lignite or coal or whatever, it's got to be converted into a fuel form first. And for that, I think to get the process started, I think we need to start with, we need a wood furnace, I think. So I'm going to put up a wood furnace here. And put a wood stockpile there. Boy, that vein goes in quite a ways. Well, that gives us plenty of ore to work with. Now, we need to make charcoal. We'll set both and have them repeat, because we're going to need both charcoal and ash. for various things. But we need at least 1 unit of charcoal to start this smelter going. See, that turned the wood into charcoal. Now, using that charcoal, we can turn the coal into Coke. And that's not Coca-Cola that you can drink, it's something else. And Coke can be made from both the bituminous coal and the lignite. You can't burn these as they are. They have to be converted into the Coke. We can also start smelting, but before we get to that, I wanna convert all our coal and all that to charcoal, to Coke. Look at all that Coke it made. All right. We got those pigtails and stuff, so we got to do something with it. A farmer's shop can convert it into something. I don't know, thread maybe. Well, first let's process whatever we can process. As a matter of fact, let's make another. Let's make another one, because one ain't gonna be enough because we're gonna have a lot of stuff to process. Now we're in winter. We don't have potash, so we can't fertilize anything. Okay. This stuff. He's processing a pigtail. So what does that become? It turns into thread and seeds. And now we can have this one. No, the thread, spinning the thread is from here, I think. I don't know. But we have animals and we can milk them. But ideally we should have this closer to the pasture, but we don't. So let's set it to milk our water buffalo. And that will take an empty bucket, this saguaro bucket, and the animal, it's being dragged down here and it's being milked. And this bucket is full of the water buffalo's milk. This one is... I guess we did all the milking we can do. Maybe we can shear an animal, because we got those the rams. We can shear them to get the wool, and then can that wool be spun into thread? No. We need to get some textiles going. It's going to be under clothing and leather. You take the thread that you made from the farmer's workshop, and that turns the thread into cloth. Okay. Now that is being woven into cloth. And now to turn that cloth into clothes, we got to create this clothing shop. The yarn is made from wool, I think. Let's see. No, let's make cloth bags, cloth, cap, cloak, coat, dress, glove, 2 of them, a loincloth, mittens. And the final step is to dye the stuff. I guess it doesn't matter. Might as well put the leather here also. I don't know where the wool is. Might be under refuse. That's probably what it is. Well, hair and wool, unlike a lot of other remains, that doesn't rot, I think. So it's not going to cause miasma to be down here, I guess. I don't know. But hair and wool, do things like anchovies have hair and wool? I don't know why that's even there. Unless this is a list of every animal. But only certain ones have hair and wool. Oh well, whatever. So let's start dyeing. The pigtail thread goes here. Dye cloth, dye thread. But we might need to do something first. We need to do something to create the dye. I think we might need like a screw press or something like that. Put it here. No, I need mechanisms. Well, geez, you know, every step requires another step before you can do it. So let's create a mechanics shop. Here, I guess. Start making mechanisms on repeat. Let's make sure we got enough chert being mined out. This stopped because there's water here. So the aquifer goes deeper here. For some reason. Oh well. Chalcedony clusters. This floor had gypsum on it, so I might end up mining a lot of gypsum, but either way I need to get rid of it, so let's get this all cleared out. Well, there's all kinds of stuff in here. Limonite, hematite, and the microcline. Okay, we got all kinds of coke now, so we can start smelting. Let's start with the hematite. It takes one coke and one hematite ore, I think, and then you get iron bars, I guess. Yeah, it creates 4 iron bars. And if with the limonite, I think it's exactly the same thing. You get another 4 bars, I think, of iron, and there's no difference between them. Kaolinite. That is, we can make. I think that's, you make porcelain with that. So we don't have clay, but kaolinite is considered a mineral, like an ore rather than a clay. But it makes ceramics, porcelain. It's very valuable, so it's good that we have that. Yeah, that made 1, 2, 3, 4 plus another. Wow, we got all. Wow. I don't know what that tetrahedrite is. It's an ore of silver and copper. 20% of it is silver, and the rest is copper. So we do have. Now we have copper bars and silver bars. We might as well do these jobs until we've exhausted all, because that stuff doesn't serve any other purpose than to refine the coke, as far as I know. So we might as well burn it all up. How is our industries going? Oh yeah, we have to make the screw, the press. That's going to take 2 mechanisms to make that. But still can't do it. We have to mill it still. Now the millstone, which I don't even see listed here, that requires a windmill. But for the time being, we can make this one that's powered by hand, which can do the job, but it's not as, it takes longer. what is it going to mill, though? That's the question. It's going to mill the barley. And it's going to put it into this pigtail bag. And since this is worked by hand, it's going to be a slow process. Very slow. Very, very slow. What the hell, man? That's taking forever. Why are you taking so long? See, that's why you want to have the windmill doing the millstone thing. The stray water buffalo calf has been stung by a honeybee. So having that that beehive right in that pasture might not have been a good idea. Finally, man. It took that long to do that. By hand. That's a long time. That dwarf could have been doing something else in that period of time. But that's why you want the millstone over this thing. So having this here might not have been a good idea. I don't know. The calf was stung. There's no lasting injuries. So she's fine. It just hurt, I guess, is all. We made some masterpiece crafts. So the next time we get some merchants, we have some stuff that's actually worth trading now. Now this bylon, or whatever you call it, I don't know what it's good for. But I want to make steel. But that requires flux stones, which apparently we don't have at the moment. Well, go ahead and smelt everything. Looks like we burned up all our wood. Oh well. What's done is done. Now we're in spring, so a full year has passed since we started the game. It started in 100, now it's 101. And it auto-saves every season. This dwarf is milling this grass. Okay, we have all this sand, and you can use the sand to make glass. So we might as well do that. For that we need a glass furnace. I don't know where to put it. I'll put it here, I guess. Well, before you can even make glass, you gotta collect sand. And you need a sand collection zone. I don't think it needs to be big. This is probably adequate. Probably even just one tile would be enough. And they'll take bags and fill it with sand, and then you got these bags of sand. And that's set on repeat. This sand will never be depleted. So this will continue until we run out of bags. And if we want more bags, which we definitely do, then well, we need the thread first. we might not have enough pigtails to keep making the bags. You can make a yarn bag. I'm not sure if the bags are reusable or not. I think they are. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 bags of sand. Now, there's 3 different kinds of glass. There's the green glass, which is the simplest, but it's also the least valuable. And then there's clear glass, which takes more work and more ingredients to make that, but it's worth more. And then there's crystal glass, which requires a specific type of rock, rock crystal, I think it's called, or quartz crystal or something like that, which only exists in limited quantities on some embarks, and some embarks might not even have it at all, so you might not even be able to make this unless you can trade for it. But that's going to be the most valuable and highly prized glass. But green glass is functionally just as good as the other 2. It's just not, it just doesn't look as nice, and it's not worth as much, but it'll do exactly the same stuff functionally. And you can make windows out of glass, and you can make all kinds of different items. You can make just about anything, really. Now the glass blocks you can use for construction. And since the sand will never run out, that means that you can make these blocks infinitely, but you do need fuel. This furnace requires fuel to operate. So that being said, let's set up a stockpile for fuel. But what is that under, though? That's it. Bars and blocks. That's what it is going to be, I think. bars of other materials: coal, pearl ash, potash. I think that's right. All right, so it's going to take a worker's going to come, take the sand and some charcoal. It's going to create some glass blocks. Now the glass blocks are for construction, same as any other kind of block, but make all this other stuff too, though. Raw glass is something I want on repeat, because making raw glass, it ends up being like a boulder kind of thing, and then it can be cut at a jeweler's shop as if it was a gem, and used to encrust items and so on. Anyway, the glass blocks can be used for construction just like stone blocks or wood blocks, but they're worth 10 and they weigh 15. In contrast to these chert, which are only worth 5, so it's worth twice as much. And also, the sand will never run out, so you can make those blocks for eternity, as long as you have the fuel to power the kiln, the furnace. These seeds are already planted, so if I change it, that's gonna ruin what's already planted. All right, so let's collect more sand. And those bags, they are reusable, as I thought. But we only have so many bags, so... Now see, I could start constructing out of that glass. And it's worth twice as much. So if I wanted to make a high value room, I could make a room entirely out of glass. It would look interesting too, probably. Okay, one of our dwarves has given birth. So that's your population will increase by migrations and by dwarves giving birth. Now that being said, we're way behind on stuff, various things. We don't have rooms or anything yet. Okay, this can be a dining room or something. Hopefully I have enough tables and chairs. B F T. Get all that smoothed. That's going to take some time. Have we ever made any honeybee remains? I don't know if a dwarf needs to have a labor enabled to collect the honey, or if anybody can do it. Not sure. See, that would be beekeeping. Well, this one, it says everybody does that. So I guess it's gonna happen. I don't know. More masterwork things are being built. He was content remembering being near to a waterfall. I don't think we have waterfalls on this map. Unless he's remembering something before the embark, or that time when we breached the aquifer and it fell down the stairs. Maybe that counts as a waterfall. I don't know. I'm not seeing any thoughts about those statues. And it might be because we need to set that as a sculpture garden. Maybe that's something that needed to be done. I don't know. Before they'll look at the statues, it has to be a sculpture garden first. Okay, so that's done now. No migrants were attracted this season. Now we got another calf. We got two now. This one's the year-old one. This is the new one, which is weak. He has a very good sense of empathy, a very good sense of the position of his own body, very good focus and good intuition. Having the very good sense of empathy means he must take after his mother, because the father is the opposite. He has a very bad sense of empathy. But she doesn't have one way or the other. So I guess he's just his own thing and not taking after either of them. But those water buffaloes, as more of them breed, it's gonna eat up this grass faster. See how it can be dense, or it can be sparse. As they graze it down, they reduce it. And if they eat all of it, then eventually they'll starve. If they can eat it faster, then it can grow. Jumping spider remains. All right. We got all this sand now, so now to make the clear glass, you need pot ash, I think. No, you need pearl ash, which is pot ash that's refined even further. And that takes wood. You gotta burn the wood to get the pot ash, and then you gotta take that pot ash to a kiln to refine it again. And it takes up a lot of fuel. So to make the clear glass, it takes a lot more work than just the green glass. And that takes a lot of wood, which we don't have a lot of, so we'll just focus on the green glass. We'll make raw green glass on repeat. as for this floor, yeah, let's start just making. You can set up a macro. Control R. CTRL. R. CTRL P. I don't know. There's a way to simplify this process. Macros. CTRL R to record and stop recording a macro. And CTRL P to play it back. CTRL R. Is that right? CTRL P. CTRL. CTRL R. CTRL R. Well, I swear there's a way to automate that, but it's going to be faster to just do it like this. Now, our dwarves, the nobles, need a study. There's 3 which need a study. And eventually it'll be more than that as I assign the positions. Let's smooth all that out. They only need meager studies, so I don't even need to do any of this extra stuff. In fact, it's, it's overkill, I guess. But, as the saying goes, you can never have too much overkill. But anyway, for an office, I guess they just need a table. Maybe some bookcases. Out of chert. Looked like they left some seeds there. One of them ate there and left seeds. They're using these rooms even though I haven't set them up as anything yet. These are going to be offices. Manager's office. Who is the... Who is the manager? The expedition leader is the manager. Now, he doesn't necessarily have to be, but that was who I assigned. There's probably, since we got a whole bunch more dwarves now, there might be somebody better qualified for these jobs. No, he's still the only one that... well, anyway, assign that to our expedition leader. We don't want to change it to anything else, just an office. Well, we don't have any bookcases, but that's probably something that an office should have. But we can put a cabinet and a chest. And this one will be the broker's office. He has a modest study. He only needs meager, so it's already overkill for what he needs. But you know, it's better to have it too good than not enough, I guess. There's the broker. This is for the bookkeeper. Um, Chief Medical Office. But we don't have such a dwarf set up yet. We need a hospital set up. You know, and because eventually some people are going to... So far we've been pretty lucky. Not much has happened. The only injuries was to that dog that got in the fight with the camel. And I see we're out of drinks. So we need to get that still working again. Let's do a work order. Brew drink from fruit and brew drink from plant. Now, we'll set it, we'll have it checked monthly, and it'll restart and it'll check every month. And do that if the amount of drinks available is less than 10. If the amount of seeds available is less than 10. So what happens is when they process plants, that's when seeds are extracted. So if you don't get the seeds from the plant until they're processed or eaten or something. But at the same time, you have to be careful because kitchens can cook plants and that will destroy the seed. You don't get the seed from plants that you cook, so you have to be careful about that. But with the stills, I think you do. I'll set that. I guess we're fine on, I mean, I think it's not a problem, but whatever. Also, if the amount of unrotten fermentable... So if we have greater than 10, then this will trigger and it'll use them up. The amount of empty food storage containers is greater than 10. All right. I don't see any reason not to have all these conditions set. And we can increase that number. But I think this is fine. We can tweak it if it becomes a problem in some way. And that's from fruit, such as the strawberries and I think the prickleberries. Plants. Pretty much the same deal, really. It's just a different type of thing. Because that's with fruit, but this is from other parts of plants other than fruit. I don't know why they're different, but whatever. And the good thing about the work orders is I don't have to keep manually setting it because the manager should take care of that. But I have it set to check every month. But it isn't doing anything at the moment, and we need the drinks right now. So I'm going to set this to go before it checks on its own, because we need that stuff right now. Might as well mill something. I think milling might just... No, you get the milling is what creates the dye. So, yeah. I still need to set up a windmill and all that. But this slow way of doing it is all we got for the time being. More masterwork stuff's being created. We're now into summer. One of the dwarves became a planter, which doesn't surprise me because we're doing a lot of planting. We ran out of chert, it looks like. Alright. We could make some glass blocks. Could make a glass bookcase. Now we're making everything out of chert, and that's why it's depleting. We could make stuff out of glass in its place, because we'll never run out of glass. The fuel to power this, though, is another story. Coffin, dye. Jug. Nest box. Yeah, I gotta set up nest boxes and stuff too. Pot. A terrarium is a cage made out of glass. That's how many sandbags. Each of these we can do one job. We want more bags. Milk animal and shear animal. It's a pain to do this manually, so it's better to have it as a work order. Have it check monthly. There's no conditions to tweak it to do. Animals can only be milked so often. So, yeah. And the same goes for shearing. You can only do that so often. I think maybe once a month is how the limit of how often it can be done. But we have multiple animals, though. Probably better to have it checked daily. Same goes for the milking. Just have it check every day, I guess. Because they might or might not need to be milked. Make sheet from plants. Process plants. I'll have it checked monthly. Spin thread. Check daily. If the amount of thread available is less than 10, or the amount of unrodden wool, hair, wool body part is greater than 10. Okay. Dye cloth, dye thread. Check it monthly, because I don't think it's going to need to be done every day. And the same goes for the thread. Monthly. So hopefully that will get the dyeing and stuff going on. Have it be automated. He's doing something with the dimple cups. Yeah, this is really, really slow. This is a problem. Come a book. Okay. Weave thread into cloth. Okay, things are pretty much running smoothly now. And as you can see, our well, this isn't really a well per se, but it can get water. The dwarves can get water from that, but it's going to be muddy crap water, unfortunately. I just wonder if there's any trees to cut down now. There's this one. I'll cut it down. May as well cut down that saguaro. The saguaros don't yield as much wood, but whatever. Okay, there's finally we've had a harvest here because I see a jug and there's a wax honeycomb. And that honeycomb, I think you can use it for wax crafts. Yeah, no more migrants, which is fine because I don't really have the accommodations for even the ones that we got. Collect sand. Let's get this collecting sand thing going monthly. If the amount of items available is at least 0. I wonder if I should build another glass furnace. Because it takes one to collect sand. But you need another one to do. I mean, you can only do one thing at a time. It can either collect the sand or it can make something. But it can't. One can't do both. So one can do the collecting of sand, and then the other can use that sand that it collected. So that's why having two could be a better idea. Yeah, see, look how nice this stuff looks. It's even the green looks really nice. Let's make a terrarium. That's a cage, I believe, that you can trap animals in. Let's make vials to collect extracts. Raw glass on repeat. That work order. Every month it will do that. Okay, I wanted to set up a hospital. But let's make some more of those bookcases. lack of chairs. Oh yeah, this dining room, I never finished it. For some reason that smoothing job didn't get completed under the tables. BFR. That dwarven child was embarrassed because there was no chairs, but we will solve that problem right now. That's going to be a dining room, a dining hall. Whatever. You can assign a dining hall to be a private dining hall for a specific dwarf. But if you do that, that means only they use it and it doesn't benefit anybody else. So we don't want to do that with this one. For the only ones which need their own dining hall are the nobles, which we don't have yet. So this is fine, I guess. Now, another thing you can do with these dining halls is you can create a stockpile for food and drink, for prepared meals and drinks. And that way, if it's in that room, then it's convenient, and when they eat, it's already there. So they don't have to seek it out and haul it every time. So let's put a kitchen here, right next to the dining hall. And we don't need to smooth the kitchen. I mean, we could, but why bother? And we'll set a work order to... Well, when you butcher animals, you can render the fat, but we haven't butchered or hunted anything yet, so that doesn't matter. But we'll set a work order for easy meals. And we'll just go with the default. I don't want them to cook the plants that will destroy the seeds, though. That's the thing. So I hope that, I mean, it's... Because you could run out of seeds by letting this run continuously out of control. Okay, it's autumn again, so caravans are... We should get a caravan again. So that dwarf came, took 2 bags of flour, and turned them into biscuits. The sand order has been completed. Look at all this nice green glass stuff we've made so far. Well, anyway, I'm just gonna shut the video off here. I dragged this out far enough. I know not everybody likes to watch this, but if you do, then thanks for watching and have a good day.